Hello, good morning and welcome to the AM News with me, Mapita CVD. Now, first story, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been questioning the National Democratic Congress's resistance to the e-levy, describing it as misplaced. As part of government strategy to rally support for the policy, the Finance Minister says the value of mobile money and other electronic transactions keeps going up and it's necessary for government to get its fair share of revenue. He's daring the NDC to provide alternatives.
So I think the NDC stance about not having e-levy, you realize that really we are at a point in our nation's history where we need to do things differently, to be able to cross the issues that are confronting us with regards to youth employment, which affects all of us and really goes to the dignity of our people who are home, the issue of our debt, so that we can start mobilizing our own resources, but all of us contribute. I mean, the argument could be killed immediately if you say that right now, as Madam Central Region mentioned, that we have only 2.4 million people contributing taxes for the whole nation. So even for this year's budget, for example, and this is for Keck to tell his people, that if there are 21 million mobile money subscribers, so we begin to ask, what the resistance is. And then you ask us why we are bringing that. And you says, virtual business is now becoming the order of the day. So, for example, we had 78 billion CDs of transfers in 2016. In 2021, the year we've just left, it was 900 shifting. So in the same way in which we abolished certain nuisance taxes because they were not relevant and we needed people to be energized, the realization that the economy is shifting. And if it is shifting, then when do we get a head start at it to begin to understand that business and also, therefore, to be able to raise the revenue required, because you can see 78 coming. And the opportunity, therefore, of digitalization to also then move to all of us being a part of it, and this sense that, this is pernicious, etc., you then ask the opposition people exactly where we are going to get this type of resources, in an economy that is growing, that is getting enhanced.
Meanwhile, the minority in Parliament is demanding the immediate dismissal of the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, who they claim is behind the country's economic woes. According to the minority, that's the only way out for government to revive the tattered economy. Isaac Adongo is Deputy Ranking Member of the Finance Committee. Apologies for that loss in sound. Away from the e-levy, Director for Tertiary Education at the Ministry of Education, Dr. Eric Nkansa, says Ghana's gross tertiary enrollment ratio, GTER, has increased from 18.84% to 20%. He reveals the increase shows Ghana is making a steady progress towards its realization.
On behalf of the Education Minister, Dr. Yaw Educhum, at this year's University for Development Studies Hamilton School in Tamale, Dr. Nkansa said studies show about 60% GDP in developed countries is mostly contributed by the workforce with some form of tertiary education.
Ghana's gross tertiary enrollment ratio, as of the beginning of last year, stood at 18.84%, which significantly fell short of the target of 25%, 2013. This has a significant effect on producing a quality workforce across the various sectors of the economy, and ultimately Ghana's GDP growth.
The Vice Chancellor of the UDS, Professor Gabriel Eyumte, on his part, raised concerns over the lagging behind
in the provision of quality education to all children in the country. Some of the major challenges confronting Ghana include inadequate classrooms, libraries, laboratories, supply of trained teachers, especially in the villages, among others. This makes the teaching and learning very difficult for the teachers and the students. I am confident that this year's Harmattan School will discuss these challenges, among others.
Hassan Shaibu called on the University Teacher Association of Ghana, UTAG, to consider suspending the ongoing strike.
The universities can also help to address some of our national challenges, such as youth unemployment, by designing and running programs that can equip the youth that has been called on by other bodies to appeal to our lecturers to return to work.
For Institute of Interdisciplinary Research at the UDS, Dr. Abdullahi Abubakar said the Harmattan School is an annual event organized by the university to enable stakeholders discuss important issues
for International Research on behalf of University for Development Studies. The school is a platform that brings together academia, entrepreneurs, NGOs and civil society organizations, policy makers and policy implementers, and people from the grassroots home.
The Paramount Chief of Pangnai in the Northern Region has served notice that only persons with knowledge in information and communication technology would be allowed to occupy traditional leadership roles. Pandai Ura Nanabre Siam Okra Otoso II has also given an ultimatum to chiefs in his traditional area to acquire ICT skills or risk losing their stalls. Ohimiteria has
Akam Krotua Hodwa, a fair no free sin a wumpuntumu. A sign, I watch I walk Pandai Mensri Munti.
For the position of District Chief Executive for the 5th consecutive time, Juliana Pedekpo, who was the 3rd nominee for the position, polled 9 yes votes against 10 no votes when she was presented to the Assembly for confirmation on Wednesday. The Assembly members appeared to the Local Government Ministry to do a wider consultation with stakeholders before nominating anybody for the position.
The nominee appointments of government appointees were revoked and 6 new appointees were sworn in. The Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Lecha, who has been acting as DCE for Adaklu, appealed to the Assembly members to confirm the nominee to reduce his workload.
I will be very happy anymore, and so that I can hand over to her and also concentrate on my job. I am appealing because the choice is yours. Nobody can coerce you, but we are only pleading and appealing to you to approve the nominee for us today. Over to you. And at this juncture, I have the honor and the privilege to introduce to you the President's nominee for the position of DC Adaklu, the person of Juliana Pedekpo.
This plea, however, fell on deaf ears. 10 of the Assembly members voted against the nominee, while 9 voted in her favor. This is the 5th time that the District Assembly is rejecting the President's DCE nominee in the 2nd term of the New Patriotic Party. So far, 3 nominees have been rejected, but wider consultation is done before the next nominee is selected.
It is important for us to cross this bridge, and I believe one of the things we have to do, which will enable us to end the brouhaha about our DCE confirmation in the district. Hectic period for us, and we promise sincerely that if this is done, I can assure government that we'll be able to confirm the next person they bring to this house without any difficulty.
Nonetheless, the Akachi North District Assembly finally approved a nominee to occupy the DCE position after several attempts. Ofosu Simon 4 no votes on Wednesday when he was presented to the Assembly. There was a rejected ballot. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Adaklu, Waya.
14 microseries undertook 6 months of incubation at the Kumasi Hive, Recycle Up Ghana, Hopper Space and Women's Haven. There's more in this report.
An enterprise opportunities in Ghana, Green Project, is a 4-year project implemented in the Ashanti and Western regions of Ghana. The project is an European Union-funded program that SNV Ghana is implementing with the United Nations Capital Development Fund. The project seeks to support the development, addressing the participants in Kumasi, officer in charge of incubation and acceleration at the SNV, Genevieve Parker-Chum, noted that the SNV will continue to build the capacity of the beneficiaries.
And even though they are graduating today, we continue to support them. It's really helping them to be investment ready. So financial management, helping to build on their financial management skills, providing tools and resources for them to be able to improve their access to funds, continue to provide opportunities for market expansion for them. So trade shows, exhibitions, we continue to invite them to, showcase their products through different platforms and different opportunities that come our way. So they will continue to be in the family even.
Now open for the third SNV incubation program, which will be an all-female cohort.
The next cohort that will be running this year, we are working on an all-female cohort. We are looking still at businesses in agriculture, renewable energy, and water sanitation and hygiene, including ways to focus on them and help them to grow their businesses. We realize that many of the businesses that we meet in the communities are led by females, but they struggle to make the time for programs like incubation and all that. So usually you'd find that a lot more men are attending. At this time, we want to do things differently, and we want to see how we can bring the support to the women and help them to grow their businesses. So
incubation with Recycle Up Ghana, and it was very, very fantastic. So talking about business management, business analytics, marketing strategies, all the bookkeepings, record keepings, supervision, human resource management, funding processes, funding acquisition, and especially networking.
Their program is good, and it has helped us a lot. Even the records keeping, I should say it, documentary.
Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Deborah.